Because as soon as I seen it, I thought, well, I work in Scotland. I'm sure they better have a green card as well as a blue one, or we might be in trouble.
Brendan Rodgers has already voiced his opinion on the introduction of a potential blue card in Scottish football. So Fog Football is going to give our opinion about it, and he doesn't think it would work. Because obviously Rangers are blue, so how would a blue card work? I mean, he's joking, right? You know what? He's joking. The whole gimmick about they better have a green card as well as a blue one, or we'd be in trouble. You know, it's a bit of banter for Rodgers. I mean, you could look at it as, he's constantly trying to win over the hardcore Celtic fans that have never wanted him and still don't really like him. You could argue that to a degree, but you know what, right? I actually kind of find this funny rather than, it's not like he's having a proper go at Rangers. I don't view this as, he's saying that it's corrupt against Rangers. I mean, after what happened on Wednesday night, I don't think he could really say that, but you look at this whole introduction of a blue card and it just looks like a disaster, like a sin bin card for 10 minutes. I mean, how's that going to work? How's that going to be implemented? What's the rules? Like, why would you implement a blue card and not a yellow card? I just don't. It shouldn't be implemented, right? I just heard Mark Goldbridge talking. So, what, red and yellow cards were introduced at the 1970 World Cup? That's 54 years ago, almost 54 years ago. What benefit does it do for football to bring in a blue card? It doesn't. Like, is a blue card in between a yellow and a red card? Is it an amber card? And therefore, if it is an amber card, why not just make it an orange card? You always hear people talk about, well, you know what, actually, I think that was more of an amber tackle than it was a yellow or of a red. Would it not make sense to bring it out? I just don't really get this. It's like it was a Super League and all. It's like, yeah, that's all for money, and you can definitely see the motive behind this. But what is this? Is this just simply to Americanise the sports that we all know? Like, we've seen it, in recent years with moving football to like matches in Saudi Arabia or big matches in America. I know you don't really get the actual matches there, like proper. It's more like friendlies, but they're going to try and move it. That's what the Super League's all about. We've seen with Formula One, they're just pumping out these American races because obviously F1's popularity's blew up and America wants a piece of the pie. We've seen boxing go to Saudi Arabia, the World Cup in Qatar, things like that. Everything's money orientated. But this blue card thing, honestly, I just don't understand the gimmick. I just don't understand it. It should never even be discussed. It shouldn't happen. This would be a monumental change for the worse. Like, you look at crazy changes in football. You think about when they changed from 2 points for a win to 3. I mean, that's a monumental change. But for me, that's good. That makes the win worth way more than the draw. Obviously, back in the day, teams might not have risked going for the win because it's only a points difference. Now it's quite a big difference, and also means the double you can get 6 pointers rather than 4 pointers, so to speak. But this blue card, I don't see how there'd be anyone in favour of it. You just feel like referees are bad enough as it is. Like, you add another card into the mix, and what's going to happen? I think it would just kill the flow of games. Say a game's really good. And I get it, red cards can kill the flow of games, but that's for a serious offence. Like, what we get a blue card and it kills the game for 10 minutes and it never recovers? It'll be weird. I don't think it'll get brought in personally. I think it's just a pipe dream, but I guess if they want it bad enough, it probably will get implemented, and to me that's the concern. I guess we'll have to wait and see about how it's going to go, troops, but for me it's a no. I don't think there's any, but I'll probably put it up for a poll on the channel, because for me it just shouldn't. It just shouldn't happen. You can't just rip up the laws of football and change it for the sake of a couple of greedy men in boardrooms. But here, you look at the rest of football across Europe. It's not. This could affect. Obviously this is a bit more about what's going to do in Scotland, but this is something they'll probably try and implement at the Euros here. We've seen VAR get used. Was it the Euros of the World Cup 2018? I think it was 2018. 2018 World Cup. Something like that. Something like that. But anyway, guys, Brendan Rodgers, he says no, unless they bring a green card in. What would a green card do? Would it give a penalty to Celtic? Potentially.